ISO loaded up and do all those fun things.
Okay.
But in this case, we'll just try to get it done.
Okay.
So we'll download the zip version and accept licensing agreement. I think I already have it downloaded. Maybe. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So we will extract this. So here you have all these files.
Okay.
We'll upload those from your workstation.
Okay, interesting.
And keep track of them. They have the loads, they got the boot, kern, patch, preloader, root. Yep. Okay. And so when you go to your call manager, we'll go into OS administration, move this out of the way.
Okay.
See if I remember my password. And we'll go to TFTP file management.
All right.
Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to upload the individual files here.
Okay.
And you'll have to do this on all your nodes.
Okay.
And then we will reset TFTP.
The publisher as well, or just the subscribers?
Anything that's running TFTP service will need it. The files uploaded there.
Okay.
So do your phones ever connect to the publisher for TFTP services?
I'm not sure if they do or not.
Okay. So that's pretty easy to check. You can go into serviceability here and just see which nodes have TFTP activated.
Which ones are running it? Okay.
You can upload it to the publisher and it doesn't hurt anything. It's just they won't be grabbing it from it. In smaller clusters, a lot of times the publisher is also doing TFTP services like a secondary or tertiary job.
All right.
Okay. So we go to upload file, choose file, and we find the folder somewhere in here. Cool.
Extracted somewhere.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, I see it down there. Yep.
Yeah, there it is. Under my decryptor. Okay. Well, let's try that one more time. And there it is now. What the? Yeah. So the only annoying thing about this, there's a whole bunch of files.
Okay.
And you need to keep track of it.
Okay.
Then upload.
Literally one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And put it in the root directory here. Make sure it finishes before you go to the next one.
Okay.
And because you're doing this over and over again, it's going to be error prone. So we did 3. Here's 4. So sometimes it's good to make a little Excel cheat sheet so you can go through node by node, make sure you're uploading all the files. Because if you're missing one component, this is not going to work.
I see.
So we do this, we rinse, wash, repeat, and then we go reset services. Do you want me to go through all this, or is that okay to just
Nope.
skip ahead?
No, that's fine. I get that gist now.
Okay, so once we do that, you'll go over here to serviceability. And you can do this from the publisher, and it'll allow you to restart each of the nodes. I'll show you that.
All right.
So you can choose a node from here.
Right. Okay.
And down here you see TFTP.
Yep.
This one says not activated. So
But mine will say activated, so I'll turn it off and then back on, basically.
yeah, whichever one has it activated, you'll need to restart it. So in my case, I'm uploading the files to the publisher. Not really necessary since only the subscriber in my cluster is running TFTP services. I'll select it, hit restart. This will pop up. You say okay. Now here you'll see a file that says .loads.
Yes.
Go ahead and copy the file name off of here. This will be the version.
Okay.
And we can load it up. And then we'll set the cluster default. When we go to administration page, once TFTPs come back, we'll go to device defaults.
Okay.
See here, it has all the firmware load information. If you did the cop sign, all those files get uploaded. There's no chance of mistake. That's why I typically don't recommend doing it the other way, or the way we're doing it here.
I see.
We find your phone version. And we can change it here.
8851.
So once we have, see, it's got the 4.5.
Yep.
But if you have to edit it, you can edit it here. This will be the inactive load. This is a load they currently have.
And,
If you upload all the files correctly.
so if you upload all the files correctly, that load information will update accordingly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
So, are you confident in your ability to do this?
90%, yes. I'm. Yep.
So in here you have your data stores. So they can upload into the data store, right?
Yep.
Come on. I have permissions. I know I do. Come on. So in here we have all our ISOs and stuff like that ready to go for us to use in our lab environments.
Okay.
And this is just like a file explorer.
Okay.
And I would totally encourage you to do it this way, if possible.
Okay.
So if you have time to make the ISO, please do.
I'll do it today.
Then and then you'll upload it into whatever folder you have here. Then you'll go to your host. If you have all your hosts in here, or they might be in different vSphere instances too.
Okay.
So here you have mine. And here I can do edit settings. And then I can change the data store ISO file. Pretty straightforward.
Absolutely, from this point, yep.
Yeah. So I would recommend doing the ISO. It'll save you headaches. It'll save you problems. But if you can get that ISO to her, but does that cover all your TFTP servers that were showing up in the list?
As far as I remember, all of our subscribers were running TFTP, and why only number 2 was showing up in the vSphere, I'm not sure. Something we're going to have to look into.
They may be running multiple ESXi instances, like different. They're not clustered together.
Okay.
So it might be on the inventory of another virtual or another data center's vSphere.
I see.
Okay.
I will ask about that, see if they have multiple.
Okay.
Awesome.
It may not be named right. There's a whole slew of things, but it's definitely a virtual machine. And this would be the way to go. Do you want to just get it done, or do you want to do it the better way? Both ways are right. That's the thing I want to stress to you.
Well, what I'll do, since I'm working from home today, is I'll make that ISO, and then I'll download the zip files now, and then I'll take them up there tomorrow. I'd like to see if we can do the ISO first, since I know we can get into at least at this far where you're showing me on vSphere.
Yeah.
See if we can get that done on subscriber 2, and then if we cannot figure out how to get into the other virtual servers, I'll use the zip files, and then we'll clean up the rest that way, and I'll do it systematically so I don't screw something up.
Yeah. And in this one, the important thing is to connect the DVD drive and to map to the right file.
I see. Okay. Right as rain.
Yep. And if it's a ISO that you made and it just has that COP sign, when we go through the, I'm going to go ahead and just close all this, cancel. So when we go into OS administration, you would literally be able to map to it as a DVD drive. So install, upgrade.
And then back to this part I'm familiar with. Yep, that's the screen. Yep.
Yeah. And then click next. And in this case, it's going to tell me there's no DVD installed.
Yep, but you ran through this with me last time we did this, so I've got my notes on that already. That's good. And do you have a preferred software that you use to make ISOs, or just whatever will do it?
Whatever you want to. It doesn't really matter.
Okay. Sounds good. I normally Infra. I think the one I use is Infra Recorder. That's what I use at home. And it's
okay. Yeah. Just whatever it was, you put the COP file in there, burn it as a disk, like it's just a disk with a no root directory, just that file in there.
Okay. Easy money.
Good to go.
Thanks, John.
That's the big advantage of having them load balanced on there. So that while they're not always, I know we always associate it with firmware but it's also certificates, images, and configuration data and time zone and all that fun stuff.
All through TFTP.
Yeah. That's the file transfer protocol for the phones.
Okay.
Then once they grab all that data, then they actually start the registration process with the call manager. That's why when we were talking about this before, and I said I wasn't too concerned when call manager wasn't showing an IP address for the device.
Yep, I recall. Yep.
Yeah, because it's dynamic. It only queries that when I go over here and I say, hey, look, list my phones. It will cache it once they've logged in, but this will disappear after a week or so. So this was a CIPC software phone I have.
Okay.
And I was using it for testing. So this will disappear, like this IP address. It'll go to none if I don't use that phone for a few weeks.
Okay, and that's where we were definitely getting stuck until you emailed me that, because we thought that because the phone clearly has an IP address, but it wasn't showing on the call manager, and we thought there was something wrong with that part of it. But yeah, we didn't know that was kind of on the backside of that.
Yeah, this is the last thing that pops up in here once it registers. So your device hasn't completed file management. Basically, hasn't gotten a firmware that it likes. It hasn't switched over to registering mode.
Sounds right. Okay. Okay. Lots of questions cleared up here. Thanks, John.
Good.